The first text came on a gray Tuesday morning. Can we talk? No hi. No hope you're well. Just those 3 words that made my chest tighten like someone had grabbed it in their hand and refused to let go. I hadn't heard from her in months, not really. After she asked for a break, packed a bag and left, the apartment felt hollow. The smell of her shampoo lingered on the pillow for weeks before fading, like a ghost I kept trying to exorcise. I stared at the message. I knew it was coming. Part of me had always known it would. Her apologies, her explanations, her soft insistence that she made a mistake. But the other part, the part that still loved her, wanted to believe I could forgive before I even knew what I was forgiving. It hadn't started with the break. It started with small things, tiny ripples that I told myself were nothing. A phone call she'd take outside. A message she'd hide the moment I walked into the room. A smile that didn't reach her eyes when I asked, "Everything okay?" "You're imagining things," she said once with a laugh that didn't touch her voice. I wanted to believe her, so I did. Then one evening I found it, her texts to him. Late at night. Words that weren't casual. Words that belonged to someone she didn't even try to hide feelings from. I stared at the screen for minutes, my hand trembling. My entire history with her flashed before me. Movie nights, late night talks, the way she always laughed at my stupid jokes. Every memory suddenly felt like it had been a performance. I didn't confront her. I couldn't. Not yet. Instead, I tried to convince myself she'd stop. That she'd remember us. That love would pull her back before it broke everything. But it didn't. When she finally asked for a break, I thought I understood. She needed space, she said. Time to figure out what she wanted. I thought I could survive that. Love wasn't supposed to be easy, right? But the months stretched. Her texts became infrequent, polite, distant. I kept my phone off at night so I wouldn't check for her messages. I focused on work, on friends, on anything that could fill the hollow in my chest. But nothing did. And then one evening the door opened. She was there. Bag in hand. Eyes red. I made a mistake, she said, voice breaking. I don't want this without you. Please. Can we start over? I studied her. Really studied her. The woman who once made my world feel full was now pleading, trembling. Offering herself like a gift she hoped I'd accept. And somewhere inside me, a part of me wanted to. Desperately. But I already knew. I knew because of the way she spoke, careful, measured, like someone practicing apologies in a mirror. I knew because of the faint perfume I didn't recognize. The way her phone buzzed and she hesitated before answering. I knew because months of pain had sharpened my instincts. The same instincts I'd ignored when the first cracks appeared. I know, I said quietly. Her hands dropped. You know what? I know everything, I said. About him. About the texts. About the nights I didn't realize you were already gone. She started to cry, words tumbling out. I was confused. I didn't mean to hurt you. I thought I lost myself and I realized I can't live without you. I listened. Part of me ached for her. Another part, the larger part, recoiled. Because love that comes too late isn't love, it's a shadow. We sat in silence for hours. I remembered every small moment that now felt like lies. The kisses that hid secrets, the late nights she claimed were work. The promises that sounded sweet but were empty. I remembered myself, the man who forgave too much, who ignored warning signs because I wanted to believe in something bigger than reality. By the end of the night I made a choice. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. I can't do this, I said. I can't be the person who rebuilds a life that's already been broken like this. You need to live with your choices. I need to live with mine. Her sobs echoed in the apartment. I didn't turn away. I just stood there, letting the sound mark the finality of what had once been beautiful. I helped her carry her bag to the door. She looked at me one last time, hope flickering in her eyes. I love you, she whispered. I loved you, I corrected softly. But sometimes love isn't enough. And then I closed the door. In the quiet that followed, I felt something I hadn't expected, relief. Sadness, yes. A deep raw ache that would take months to fade. But relief too. The kind that comes from knowing you've chosen yourself, that you've refused to let someone else's mistakes define your life. I walked through the empty apartment, touching the furniture we'd shared, breathing in the spaces that had once been ours. Every memory stung, but it also reminded me of what I was capable of surviving. That night I didn't cry. I didn't call anyone. I just sat by the window watching the city lights flicker like stars in the darkness and realized something simple but profound. Life doesn't wait for forgiveness, and healing doesn't need permission. I would rebuild. Slowly. Carefully. And this time I would do it for me.